All right, everyone. Welcome once again on this Monday for our Meal Solutions class, where we are making a recipe that I actually wanted to make for you guys for a really long time, but just didn't know where to fit it in. And today is the day. It's a perfect day for this, that we are going to be making a tortellini soup with ham and peas. All right. Here's a picture of it. Doesn't it look lovely off of our savory site? Nice and bright and colorful, full of things for spring. And that kind of gets us into why are we doing this today? Like I said, I've wanted to do this one for you guys for a while because I've always thought that it looked really good. As I just mentioned, it's going to be full of springtime ingredients, which we're going to chat through here in a moment. But what is coming up this weekend? Easter, okay? So for those of you who are making a ham this weekend, maybe you're going to have lots of leftover ham. This is a great recipe to utilize that leftover ham in a different way, okay? Rather than just the ham sandwiches and things like that, we can chop up that ham and use it in this soup. So take this recipe for however you would like it. It's just an everyday thing, or keep it in your back pocket to use next Monday. All right. Here are those ingredients over on our right. We're going to walk through them as we actually make it. But some ones that I really want to highlight would be the frozen veggies we're going to chat through in a moment. And then, of course, the ham. Okay. Directions are also included in here. So we will be sending out this presentation later. If you want to check back to the directions here, you can. Or, of course, you can click the link in the email to go directly to our savory site. Now, let's talk about these ingredients and how you can redeem points. Okay, you earn choice points for attending these classes. So how can you redeem those choice points for ingredients? I think oftentimes we think about utilizing points for gas, but you can also get some good grocery items too. So of course, points that you've already earned a month ago can be used now for your ham, which is the big star for this recipe, right? So this is taken right from our current circular. We are in that ham season starting this past Friday. You're able to start picking up your hams so you can redeem those 400 choice points to get your free ham or $1 off of other hams per pound. Or you also have some other choices with the Stouffer's party size entrees as well as the tofurkey. Okay, so great options for everyone. Start getting those ham coupons printed, picking up your hams, all right? Also, just a note down here that our stores will close at 3 p.m. on Easter, April 20th, this Sunday, and will reopen for normal business hours starting the following day on Monday. So make sure you get what you need now, okay? Now, for today, I obviously haven't cooked a big old ham yet because that's coming up on Sunday. So what am I using instead? I am using the Burke's Make It Easy diced or cubed ham that you can pick up in our meat department. If you are looking at the meat department, you know, you go along and all of the fresh meats are there, and then you get towards the end, kind of near like the pre-cooked chicken as well as the hot dogs. Right before that, in the ham section, you can find these packages of diced ham. This one in particular is what I'm using because you can see there on the right, kind of little, it says it is reduced sodium. Now, mind you, it's not low sodium, right? We have to hit certain criteria of 140 milligrams or less to be considered a low sodium, but this is a reduced sodium. Pardon me as I look in there, okay, to the label, 330 milligrams of sodium for one serving of this. So for ham, not too bad, right? That's usually the concern with ham, is that sodium standpoint. So keep this one in mind if you are looking to make some recipes with ham and you don't want to make a ham, or you want to be watching the sodium a bit. Okay, this is a great option there. Now, how else can you redeem points for these ingredients? This is right in our circular as well. Things like our brand frozen veggies are free when you redeem 50 choice points, okay? Now, in that our brand of vegetables, I know the picture here is broccoli, but today we're using petite peas as well as crinkle cut carrots. Both of them are a part of this. So look at that. You can get your ham. You can get these veggies for free as well. So lots of ways to utilize those points, get some free items to make this recipe. Now, another sale alert, and then I promise we will get into the actual recipe itself, will be the tortellini that we're using today. Okay, our store brand tortellini, also on sale right now. We carry 3 different varieties. For our recipe today, we are going to be using the one on the far right, just the plain cheese tortellini. But in the middle, we also have tricolor tortellini, which I also think is lovely. But I wanted to rely on the natural, bright, beautiful colors of the carrots and the peas today in this one. So that's why I went with just the regular tortellini. But then on the left, if you prefer the meat tortellini, that is also included there. These are a big freezer staple for me. I know that you guys probably are getting tired of me talking about frozen foods and my love for them. But I always say to folks, yes, it's important to have a well-stocked pantry, also important to have a well-stocked freezer. Not only do I keep a ton of frozen fruit, ton of frozen veggies, but I really like to keep these tortellinis in my freezer as well as just a very quick meal when you don't have a lot of time. We also have frozen ravioli, same type of scenario. You could use that in here if you want, but it's great for other dishes too. So freezer staple, it's on sale. Go get it now to give it a try. Okay. So now that we've chatted all about that, let's go ahead and get into our recipe. I'm going to stop my video here and we will bring up my ingredients. Yes, you guys see over here? Perfect, perfect. Hey guys, I always talk to check out our seasonal section. That's where I got this cute little bunny, as well as some other things for the season. So the seasonal section goes quick though, guys. So I'm not going to guarantee there's going to be a whole lot left, but go get it while you can. Okay, so let me show you what I have going on over here. Okay, so over here in my pot, we need to get some things boiling. I've already put the ingredients in here. I meant to turn my burner on a minute ago and I got too distracted talking to you guys. So we'll just have to wait a minute for this to boil, but let me tell you what's in here. First, I did 2 cups of water, okay, as well as 4 cups of that low sodium chicken broth. So this is our Nature's Promise low sodium chicken broth. I show it all of the time. This, unlike the ham that I mentioned being reduced sodium, is actually low sodium, which means it's going to be less than 140 milligrams of sodium. This one in particular is 135 per 1 cup. We're using 4 cups in this recipe, but once again, that's first among all the servings of soup. This container is 4 cups. That's exactly what we need. So this whole container went in here. All right. Now, one last thing that is in here is some Italian seasoning. Now, the recipe actually calls for dried thyme. And I always feel like I just said, well-stocked pantry, well-stocked freezer. I always thought that I had well-stocked spices. Did I this morning? No. What? Shana, what is wrong with you? I could have sworn that I had dried thyme. But apparently not. But something I do always like to make sure that I have is Italian seasoning. And dried thyme is a part of Italian seasoning, as well as oregano, basil, rosemary, and sage. Okay, so I was like, it'll work, right? We'll make do. So a half a teaspoon of that is in here as well. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a stir. It is starting to get hot. We just need to bring it to a boil. So while that is coming up to temperature, let's chat about what we're going to be putting in here next. Guys, this recipe is so simple, so easy, so quick. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, we're done with class. Okay, so just once again, quick reminder, 2 cups of water in here, 4 cups of that low sodium chicken broth, and then a half a teaspoon of either dried thyme or I use the Italian seasoning. Now, here comes in the rest of the ingredients. I told you about the Burke's Made It Easy cubed or diced ham. That's what I have right here, okay? 1 cup, which is actually not even the whole package, okay? If you like a lot of ham in your dishes, go ahead and use the whole package. I did measure out just the cup so you could have a better idea of what that looks like in here. So we're going to be putting that in there. And then here is that cheese tortellini. This whole package is going to be going in, once again, on sale. And then here we have our crinkle cut carrots, as well as our petite peas, okay? Recipe only calls for half of each of these bags, okay? So you're only going to be seeing me put half of these in here. I think we're good. It's not full boiling on yet, but we're getting some steam. It's getting warm. It is quite okay. We can go ahead and start putting them in. So there's the ham. And I would actually prefer to put this stuff in now when it's not boiling, because did you see what just happened? The splash effect. And I always do that. And then I get burned because it's too hot. So this is a perfect temp. We have our ham in there. Okay, give that a little go. And now we'll put that tortellini in. Okay. Going to be professional today and actually cut the bag open. So we'll pour the whole package of the tortellini in. Oh, that's nice. Now, tortellini does not take long to cook at all, okay, which you guys will see here in a minute. But basically, we know this is done whenever the tortellini starts to float. Everything in here is already pre-cooked, so we're not really waiting for anything to cook. We're just waiting for things to warm up and some flavors to marry together, all right? Let's go ahead and work with our half of the package of crinkle cut carrots. Now, mind you, I've been all about the frozen foods. Oh, look at that little guiding star guy. Okay, we're all about the guiding stars. Of course, our fruits and vegetables are going to get those stars. That's about half of the package. And if you joined Jenna and I this past Friday, you know that I'm not the biggest carrot fan. So if it's less than half a package, I'm okay with that. But what I was going to say is, yes, it's great to have a stocked freezer, but if you don't and you have canned carrots or canned peas on hand, or you would just prefer to go the canned direction because you don't have a lot of freezer room, use that in this soup instead, okay? Half a package of this. It doesn't have to be the frozen. It really doesn't. Sometimes folks prefer the frozen in a soup because canned ingredients are going to be a little softer. And here we're warming it up in a soup again, so we might feel like it's a little too soft. But use canned if that's what you got or that's what you prefer. No biggie, okay? Look how beautiful this is, okay? You got the little pops of pink from the ham, the bright orange, carrots, that vibrant green in there, the tortellini. You can see the Italian seasoning going on here that's really supposed to just be dried thyme. But really lovely, okay, what we have going on here. Now, what we want to do from here is this just needs to cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. You guys can see my ring light now reflecting in here. We've got all sorts of cool cameras and gadgets when we do these classes for you guys. So this cooks for about 3 to 5 minutes until it gets to that boiling temp. Those tortellinis start to float. And then it's done. Minus one thing, okay? I say it's done. I got really excited. Once this boils for about that 3 to 5 minutes, okay? If you would like to, which I'm going to, I have 2 teaspoons of lemon juice here that I'm going to stir in. This is just going to add a nice brightness to it, some acidity. I love lemon. It's going to pair beautifully with those spring veggies that we have in there. So this is just going to get tossed in at the end. You can season with salt and pepper. if you would like. And then what I'm going to do, which is what the recipe calls for as well, is to give it a nice generous sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. Charlotte and I had this conversation the other day because she was like, what are some ingredients that you always like to have in your fridge? And I was trying to think of something, besides the normal dietitian answer of fruits, veggies, blah, blah, blah. I was like, Parmesan cheese. And she goes, me too. So we both love the Parmesan cheese. I put it on anything and everything. And it gives you that salty vibe, right? So we do need to be mindful because of the sodium, but this is still low sodium, 95 milligrams per 2 teaspoons, which I think is pretty good, but it would be a way to skip the direct salt in any type of dish and give you that cheesy vibe as well, okay? So why does the lemon have to go in at the end compared to now? Because if we put it in now, the flavor is going to get a little lost. Okay, we put it in at the end, that integrity after we pull it off the heat is going to remain a little bit better. Okay, so this is starting to boil. I can already smell it. It smells good. Things are looking good. Okay, let me bring this video back up here for you guys. Okay. Look at that. It is 12:18. I hate to end class this early, but like we're done. It was that simple. It was that easy. Okay. Once again, use your leftover ham, redeem points to get the free frozen veggies, or use canned, whatever you want to do. But really simple and easy recipe. Okay. Especially if you're having guests over this weekend. You want to throw something together easy, but you don't want to spend a lot of time making it. This is it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and end our recording here. And